That's good, like, hold on.
Brian, Stacy, your mother Ellen and I are so glad you decided to join us for this family communication session.
So what's up? You guys getting divorced or something?
No, we just wanted the family to talk as a group.
Okay, well, let's get it started.
All right, well, Stacy, Brian, your father, Ted, and I are a little bit concerned. Celia, the cleaning lady, was in the family room and she found a bag of pot.
She didn't smoke it, did she?
No, she didn't smoke it.
Now, we're not here to come down on you. I mean, that's not what we're about, okay?
We're just concerned that pot could lead to other things.
Crack, ice, boom, pow.
But we know you don't want to hear this from us.
Sure, I mean, we're your parents. Who wants to hear this stuff from their parents, huh?
Your father and I came up with a brilliant idea to give you kids some direction. A motivational speaker.
Yeah, one of those guys who speaks to big groups at high schools and churches.
You mean to come to the house?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, later.
Hey, come on, you guys. This set me back a few bucks. Okay, his name is Matt Foley. Now, he's been down in the basement drinking coffee for about the last 4 hours, and he should be all ready to go. I'll call him up. Matt, we're ready for you. His speech is called Go For It. Now, he's used to big groups, so make him feel like there's a crowd here. Matt, come on up, buddy.
All right, how's everybody? Good, good, good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the world by the tail and rock it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat. You're going to end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river. Now, young man, what do you want to do with your life?
Actually, Matt, I kind of want to be a writer.
Well, Lottie frickin' da! We got ourselves a writer here. Hey, Dad, I can't see real good. Is that Bill Shakespeare over there?
Well, actually, Matt, Ellen and I have encouraged Brian in his writing.
Dad, I wish you could just shut your big
Yapper! Now I wonder, Brian, from what I've heard, you're using your paper not for writing, but for rolling doobies. You're going to be doing a lot of doobie rolling when you're living in a van down by the river. Young lady, what do you want to do with your life?
I want to live in a van down by the river.
Well, you'll have plenty of time to live in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river. Now, you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey, Matt, how can we get back on the right track? Well, as I see it, there is only one solution. And that is for me to get my gear, move it on in here, because I'm going to bunk with you, buddy. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. We're going to wrestle around. Old Matt's going to be your shadow. Here's you, here's Matt. There's you, there. Whoops-a-daisy. God. We're gonna have to clean that up later. Me and my buddies, my pals, my amigos. I'm gonna get my gear.
Wait, yeah, Matt, you don't have to go. Matt.
We'll never smoke pot again.
Matt, thanks for all you've done.
I don't give a rat's behind because I'm moving in. I'm sick and tired of living in a van down by the river.
Is the back door locked?
Yes.
We love you, Dad.
I love you too.
Okay. Masood, do you have your stuff ready? Do you want to introduce it? Sure. Okay, great. Alright, so I've been thinking about this for a while, and as the TEC, I wanted to have a running theme throughout our meeting, so I'll start it off now. So we all know as entrepreneurs, or as any successful business venture, you find a niche in a market. Either you one which is already existing, or you create one for yourself. And most of the time you look for a problem which needs a solution, or you sometimes even create a problem and then create a solution for it, if you want to go that way. So I was thinking, we live on campus right now, and there are things, and we experience life on campus, and there's sort of so many things on campus that we go through and think there probably has to be a better way to do that thing. Or I wish there was this solution for this other thing. So what I was hoping, if we could just get into small, tiny groups and come up with problems, not the solutions for me, just problems or things that sort of happen on campus that we're not either comfortable with, or there must be a better way of doing this thing. So shall we say 4 people per group? Yeah, let's do that. So one group, another one, group, next. This 5 minutes.
I would just say grab. I would just say grab. There's like no black there, but also it's all good. We'll figure that out. So problems.
Being harassed by people on campus trying to get flyers and stuff. The flyers and the student government people.
Student government people. Good stuff.
Bike lanes on the sidewalks.
Why is that a problem?
Are there bike lanes on the sidewalks?
Why are bikes on the sidewalk?
Wait, is your problem with bikes being on the road, or is your problem with bikes being on the sidewalk is causing a hazard?
Is right next to Little Hall and the Architect Building in front of Broward Dining. There's like a little long walkway that's unfinished. Right there. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Around that area, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about east of the Architecture Building, south of Little Hall. You guys have any idea what I'm talking about?
Okay, so wait, what is the problem?
The art building, I mean,
the
the problem is that bikers
ride on sidewalks?
It's just bikers and walkers. Well, bikers are riding on the sidewalks, but and then when they're coming down, when there's a lot of people walking, there's either no room for the bikers to get by, or the bikers, if there is room for the bikers to get by, they just run right by like any which way that they feel convenient. And so if we can somewhat make that an ordinance system.
So basically, we force everyone to ride bikes.
Or I think probably the simple solution, but it'd be a little bit expensive, is to basically, I would say, have bike lanes for now on any road that's 35 miles an hour and under. Yeah. I mean, we can't have a bike lane out on Archer Road because that's too fast. But
Like a bike lane on every sidewalk, because bikers ride a lot on the sidewalks. But okay, that's one problem.
So right
Because
now,
pedestrians are stupid.
so you have to put like large screen to bike lane.
I think because I bike a lot myself. That's like my car. And I think a big solution, a big helping, I don't know how entrepreneurial it is, but on every sidewalk there's a white line, and it's like cars. You walk on the right-hand side, okay? So if a biker is biking behind you on the sidewalk and there's no bike lane, the biker can just, like a car would pass to your left and go around. You know what I mean? Because too many people, they like walk right in the middle of the sidewalk, and that's what causes the problem. And they're completely oblivious to like other things going on.
And then the people who like walk side by side, like 2 or 3 wide.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's like the worst.
We should discuss the solutions later. It's about problems right now.
Other problems. I like the unwanted handouts. Buses being full.
Let's talk about the dorms.
The dorms.
Parking.
Parking. That is a huge problem. We need to have more parking on campus. That's for sure.
What's wrong with the dorms?
I don't know. I just heard my friends complaining that they have to go like 8 flights to stay. They already have more large rooms, like in
Or elevators.
advertising their DJ.
Other problems. You said the screens were too far away in classrooms?
I mean, people in the back of the room can't see in front of the room.
Well,
There's already solutions.
I have an idea, kind of to address your problem. Everyone brings laptops to their class already. And they kind of already have this in some of the business labs. What happens is maybe through Sakai or through another website, you have a course ID, and you plug in your course ID in your Gator 1 ID, so that way whatever's being projected out on the screen, you can also get on your laptop. And again, teachers, let their PowerPoints go after class. That happens, but you're right. I know with myself too. Sometimes I have trouble seeing what's being projected up, and that'd be a great way to, bring people into class.
we have multiple problems.
All of them. All of them. Anything different? All your friends too.
Being able to see
They're going to be all your friends. Distances between classes?
Man, is that a credit card? Oh wait, it actually is. Yeah. What is this Bitsa International?
That's my college back in India. So that's
Is that why I got like a invitation to this college? Because I've seen this college before.
It's quite famous back in India.
Yeah, but why did I get an invitation to join the Indian college?
Did it? I'm not sure.
Sure.
They got a big base. No, but I think just kind of getting back to a little bit of entrepreneurial ideas. I think with the parking, maybe one of the things that they can do is put sensors on all of the UF parking places, and so that way maybe through your Florida app, for parking. I don't know if they already do this or not, but they keep track of the number of cars in the parking lot, and they can tell you whether or not the parking lots are full or not.
Really, you don't need a sensor. You just need a car counter.
Our car count, yeah, something like that.
Entrances and exits.
And it can calculate this parking lot is like 75, 100% full. So you don't waste your time going to a parking place and then there's no spots.
I actually had an idea. Actually, there's a parking lot right next to
Awesome. Wow. That's awesome.
It's
Like right there?
like U-Haul and
Because we're in U-Haul?
right next to
Yeah, we're like right there.
yeah, like between
Like right there.
like right, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like right there.
right. So I was thinking, all right, after 5:30, anyone can park there. So on its full, they can people to the library website. So I thought this is throw out many names.
Awesome.
You can
And you're
part there for a certain
So Maria works over at Simplify with the food truck guy. I brought her one time and just got her bees here.
I don't remember. I see so many people.
She's the innovation kind of
No, I'm a senior in high school right now.
over at Behold.
Yeah, I'm in the
I don't like it when people blow stop signs.
Yeah, we both do.
Well, I mean, if I promote the idea of putting cameras on every stop sign and it takes your picture every time you blow by it, people will like go grab their pitchforks and torches and like go burn down the White House for trying to spy on them. So, I mean, good luck passing that idea.
I like part of I live like over by like the
Also, getting wet when it rains.
like all the way
Getting what?
out there.
When it rains.
Oh yeah.
At the Holiday Inn.
So giant dome over UF.
My thoughts. Or you just buy a nice thick poncho that'll drape over you and your backpack.
Yes, please. If he's not.
Excuse me 1 second.
Tunnels, yeah.
Yeah.
Colleges in Canada have that up north. Because it snows. You think you can just go eat anytime you want? We're trying to have a problem session here.
Man's enjoying his pizza, man. Brought to you by the Entrepreneurship Club.
Gotta give him a modeling shot.
Oh man.
You solve a problem.
The doors are really expensive. Like really expensive.
And it's not even like that. Privacy shit on that.
No brush or snap after 2:30 or 3.
Right, snap ends.
Even RTS ends. So maybe something at least like carpooling.
Yes, come get in my car at late at night. Let's see where you'll end up. That sounds like a great idea.
You got to trust people.
You got no. Yeah, okay. Great idea.
Like, what's a problem that like there's like a need for a creative solution? You know what I mean? Because like the cost of dorms, yeah, that's absolutely a problem. But like, okay, so we then lower the cost of the dorms. You know what I mean? Like that's like I don't know, like. I think also with the dorms, why they're so expensive is that's how University of Florida makes some of its money after all the Bright Futures scholarships that they give out. You know, they got to find a way to make money somehow. So stuff. I don't know if this is so much of a entrepreneurial idea, but I throw this out there. I'm on the meal plan, but to be honest, I mean sometimes the food courts, you know, Gator Dining and Broward Dining, sometimes they have good food. Well, sometimes I wonder if instead of UF having its own food court there, they have various restaurants come in, like taco. Okay, well, we'll bring it back. Yeah, for real.
Out of the 5 groups, we came up with those 5 problems. So, bikes and pedestrians don't mix well, privacy in the dorms, parking, seeing the screen in classrooms, and finding the RTS bus if you don't have a smart. Now, what I wanted us to do right now is to tackle each problem one at a time and see what solutions we might have for it. The bikes and the pedestrians was a common theme among all the skill groups, so clearly it's something that affects us all. So, anyway, what's the problem? Yes.
Wait, a solution to the problem or a problem?
Solution.
Okay, well, for the biking one, our group talked about the idea of on every sidewalk there's a white line or a line of some kind, and you know, it's like driving a car, right? You walk on the right-hand side. I think so that way for bikers, because I bike all the time, and people like want to walk right in the middle of the sidewalk, and that's really difficult for me as a biker to get around them and stuff. If that's the case, then I can just pass around them to the left, and it's a lot safer and a lot easier for everyone.
So give them a lane on the sidewalk.
Yeah, make lanes on the sidewalk.
If you do that, you might need to make the sidewalk bigger.
True.
People are already used to the sidewalk for the size it is. Right?
Yeah.
We can outlaw walking.
Yeah.
I think that kind of the I think kind of the subtext of bikes and pedestrian problems is we've taken this massive amount of space and allocated it to really few people, which are driving cars. Like a walker takes up, I feel like it's Walking Dead. A walker takes up 5% of what a car does. Like 20 people walking takes about as much space as a car. And a cyclist takes maybe twice as much space as a walker. But a car takes all that amount of space. Why are we giving these vehicle lanes full and absolute prevalence just for these very few people in cars? Maybe we could, turn some of the roads on campus into one-ways and make the other lane bicycle space or walking space, and try to delineate more clearly that the road needs to be shared between not just cars.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there is a successful model of that in Chicago, and they do, like the cars park instead of parking up against a curb, there's like a 5-foot gap that's made for bikers and it eliminates them opening a car door on you and like the traffic of like someone going by you on your side. So like you're secured by like, having traffic on one side and the sidewalk on the other. And like the parked cars are in the middle of the way, so if you understand what I'm saying, like, on that other.
It's sort of like that with the bike lanes on Main
It's
Street.
going around here. What?
It's sort of like that with the bike lanes on Main Street, but the cars are on the other side of the bike lane when they park. So
Yeah. Like moving that over and eliminates a lot of accidents.
Also, 13th and University and some of the roads on campus don't have bike lanes, which is just obscenely dumb.
So more bike lanes? Any other thoughts on this problem? Yes.
In fact, I would say every road that's 35 miles per hour and under, from now on, it's always created with bike lanes.
Alright, I don't spend too much time on that. Privacy in the dome, this was yours. So what?
To explain the problem, I think I even asked, like, he hadn't lived on campus, and I said why. He said privacy, and he quickly moved off campus. I said why? He said privacy. So that's the problem. You want to have maybe space to decompress, or do your own thing, whatever.
When you share the dorms together, there's two people and you do one shared space, so everybody can see you. So our proposed solution maybe is white noise machines or something or maybe blockades between you or something like that.
So to me, it sounds like the big issue is, nudity that is unwelcome. I think maybe we should have like black bars that people just, adhere themselves, like in the movies. Black bar.
Having lived in the dorm room, there are different types of rooms. So there is the shared space, and other places they have the room is partitioned off for different people. So, okay, how would you solve that?
The first idea I had, so there's these things called white noise generators, and your doctor probably has them, you don't even know about it, but it like emits a kind of static frequencies that what's the word, like compensate for what's being said so no one can hear it, or cancels it out. And then another one was like some type of like curtain that's easy to set up or something, or a blockade, like I think that's
So you can have it and you can remove it when you don't want it. And
yeah, a divider of some kind.
Any other thoughts on this?
Move to an apartment.
You can just go to, just start dating somebody who lives off campus and, invade their private space, but they're more okay with it because that's what they're around. Parking.
What about parking?
Just don't drive.
Like more, but then we're back here. If people don't drive more, then that will increase the issue here. Yes?
I talked about, I don't know if you guys know, there's a Florida app. It replaced UF Mobile, And on that application, I don't know if they already have this, but put some type of sensor or car counter or something at the entrance of every parking garage. And so that way it keeps track of, I mean, because, the computer knows how many cars can be in the parking lot at one time. So it keeps track of the percentage of how full the parking lot is, and whether or not you're going to find parking there.
FSU has that.
FSU has that?
Throwing that out there.
Oh, nice.
Take that big lawn near Midtown and make it a multi-story parking lot. You guys all know what I'm talking about? That lawn?
University Corners
Yes.
already has development plans.
Well, anyway, if they didn't do that.
We'll put more.
Take another area.
Make the rest of Gainesville parking garage.
Just eliminate all parking to the point that people know there isn't parking, like in Manhattan. You won't take your car because you're not young.
That's the UF administration strategy, actually.
They've not
Like,
done
as long as I've been here, they've been removing parking.
What about right behind the How Do You Roll place? Isn't that a parking garage?
Yeah, they just finished, I don't know if it's completely finished yet, I don't think you can park there yet. I mean, it's architecturally not inspected.
What if they just charge more for decals?
That's a good one, or maybe, how about no decals, you never have a guaranteed space, but if you find a space, be prepared to pay. That way you don't have to buy a decal, if you do need occasionally to drive on campus, but you're disincentivized from always parking on campus.
It's too much of a free-for-all with that, though.
Yeah, but it's a $20 for all, which is far less chaotic.
If they had that system with the sensors, like they have it in like big movie theater parking garages where there's like a green light if there's empty spots in that row, and then there's like a red light if it's all full, and you can see like when you go past the rows if there's even like light up how many there are, and then you could implement that. But
Free scooters.
Free scooters.
Make the scooter decals cheaper.
Scooter.
Like make a scooter decal is currently the same as a car. How about we, make it half the price, even though you can fit 6 scooters in one parking space, turn a bunch of parking space, and people know that you at least park their scooters.
All right, yes, sir. Kind of to piggyback on top of that, you could make all of campus no cars, and then have free bike rentals.
Or just do like city bike, but have 30 minutes of a bike for free per day with your UFID and money if it's more than 30 minutes.
Or the tram that goes around campus.
It's going to cost a lot of money to repair all those bikes after it's accumulated depreciation.
big cities, you can rent it, it's $2 for 30 minutes in any, like New York and Chicago they have them. And you can rent a bike and go anywhere and travel and drop them off at different hubs around the city.
Yeah, that's what city bike is.
Yeah.
Yeah, a city bike here would be awesome.
All right, Clint.
Maybe have more covered areas for walking so people want to walk more because it's really hot and it rains a lot here.
Change the weather.
Change
the
yeah,
weather.
To the best of your ability. Giant fans, mist machines.
Tunnels.
Like Disney.
Tunnels, honestly,
Tunnels.
UF needs a lot more tunnels.
Down.
Got like 2 tunnels, we need more.
FSU has like a steam tunnel. I wouldn't go in there, not that I have already, but.
Not that I have already.
Dude, you tell a lot about FSU, man. You might as well go there.
It's really nice.
Jesus.
Does it sound really nice?
I really don't. It's
the rest of my
these
family ain't
innovations,
there.
apparently.
So.
Clint. See screen.
Yeah, that was one of the problems that came up. The idea was that in these large lecture halls, the screens are so far away that it's hard to see. So a possible solution was to live stream the lecture or the slides onto your computer through e-learning. Just like log on and go with that.
While the professor is up here, you can view it from wherever you sit.
Yeah, and you don't even need like the video feed, you just need the computer feed.
Or have the professor already upload their PowerPoints to Sakai or wherever, so you can already click on it and have it and go at your own pace while they're on the same thing. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, they do that a lot for business. So.
Yeah, that's how I got the idea.
What if it's just like screen sharing software?
Sorry?
Like, you ever seen that thing where I can make you see what's on my computer screen with the screen sharing software?
Yeah.
You could put more screens in the classroom.
Everybody brings a laptop with them.
Yeah.
iPads embedded into each desk.
Expensive, bro.
Alright.
And the final one. Finding the RTS Plus without a smartphone. You had an idea?
So buy a smartphone? Oh.
He had an idea. Go ahead.
Not an idea. Like, we don't have Wi-Fi on the streets, so you have to pull out your phone and then change from the Wi-Fi setting to the data and then check where the bus is. And we can make it easier by having like a bus locator at the bus stop. And people can just come up and just have a look and know where the bus is.
And maybe even have an approximate time on the sensor when the next bus is going to be coming in. Like what you see with metro stops, or sorry, not metro, like subway stops. They'll have the time when the next train comes in, so.
So they actually have that for buses and trolleys in San Francisco, just at every bus stop. Every bus stop is covered. It's not like a big giant bus stop like you see our covered bus stops. They're like luxurious. No, they have like this little shitty plastic thing that'll keep the rain off of you and 2 other people. And it says which bus is running and how long it will be until it gets there. Which, that's nice. Also, I don't know.
Sorry, what were we saying?
So in San Francisco, they have little things that say how long, well, yeah, exactly, how long it'll be to the next bus. The other thing I was thinking is those custom like things, getting something actually built into place might be a little bit expensive, whereas a small power supply, even solar, and a tablet that has just been put in a rainproofing thing would probably end up being cheaper.
Yeah.
So yeah, just an iPad and a solar thing, and you can put one of those low-rate SIM cards like they use in smart meters.
Or just use an SMS line with geolocation on it. Just SMS text, even if you don't have a smartphone.
Do they currently have that? I think they do have an SMS for records, yes. Just people don't know what number to use. So advertising the SMS option.
They like put a sign up at the bus stop with instructions, like this is what you need.
They could play waiting music at the bus stop, so I'm in Joe's 5
Waiting music. Play music. So the last thing I wanted, out of this 5, so we've gotten the problems, we've gotten the possible solutions. Now, theoretically, cost-effective and everything, which would be the easiest to find a solution to, the cheapest, and the one which could actually be done very easily? And if we can charge money for it, even better. But if we can't, it doesn't necessarily have to be the aspect.
Probably just screen sharing in the classroom.
Sensors in the parking lot, since FSU already does that.
Yeah, but that'll probably be a large capital cost.
Would it?
For the system to track.
I mean, all you would need to do.
There's something right on top of the car which will sense
Right.
the car is there or not. They have it at airports and all sorts of places.
Probably tie in Sun Pass and actually charge people every time they drive on campus like a toll road.
Toll road. Oh my god.
A toll road?
Yeah, I think campus tolls are a really good idea. Like, there's honestly, having campus closed during the daytime does interrupt a bunch of traffic that now has to, go Archer and 34th Street in a way that's kind of inefficient because Archer and 34th Street already suck. Whereas if you just had the people who are willing to pay $5 to get where they need to be faster, that'd be cool. Like for instance, when my sister's mother-in-law, which which I guess is your grandmother-in-law, I have no idea, was in the hospital, and she and her husband were at Shan's, and I had to pick up food and bring it to them because all the restaurants at Shan's were closed. I would have gladly paid to be able to go through campus instead of 13th Street to Shan's, because it would have been way faster. But that probably wouldn't cut down the cost.
And then who would get the revenue? For toll roads, the road is private.
These are the parking structures and going vertical.
Pay people who have bikes, give them a tuition discount.
Tuition
So
discount.
the money would go to the people who have bikes.
I think a lot of this stuff would probably be run not by like a.
Bike sharing terminal setup. That's what the toll road would pay for with bike sharing setup.
No, but who would the money go to? Because toll roads are mainly private roads which were built by a company which told
Oh, the toll would go to fund the bike sharing.
Oh.
Or what about like a scholarships ride, like a $50 thing that would help?
How could they track that?
They do it in private schools. They give, whoever doesn't register for a parking permit gets either a free bike or a coupon to a bike store. And like every year you can register for that. And my brother did that and got free bikes. So there is what do, it's just not with as many students.
Yep.
I think that when we were talking with the solution number 3, we brought up the possibility of higher priced decals. So again, if UF is charging higher priced decals, they then use that money to create parking sensors. So I mean that's a way. I think also I was riding the bus the other day too, and I was looking up towards the top of the buses where they have a bunch of like things for you to read, like bus safety and stuff. You see with a lot of other places, those places are used for advertisement. I was just curious why they weren't using that for advertisement as well on the RTS system.
Yeah.
The toll road thing, you could charge like a $5 flat rate if you went on campus, but then it could also keep track of how long you were on campus for. Like if you parked for the day or parked for 2 days, then when you leave, it could charge you a lot more. Than, so it would combine the parking and decals stuff together.
With okay, thanks guys. So what we'll do in the next meeting, we'll pick these two up, the parking and the screen in the classrooms, and see, just think about it for a week, see what else we come up with next week, and we'll just keep going on with it and see what we take. Thanks.
All right, yeah, keep it going. Now we're gonna get to our main event. That's these two guys right here. I'm going to give these guys a bit of an introduction, even though they don't do it, and they'll do it way better than I do. Ty and Trevor started this when they were in a program called the HackerHouse. You'll hear a little bit more about HackerHouse as the semester goes on, because we're going to have some of the current HackerHouse present later. HackerHouse is this 110-year-old Victorian mansion where a local millionaire, Augie Lai, pays for a bunch of people to basically live, eat, and hack away on different projects, and Spinchill was one of those projects. They started a Kickstarter to fund themselves, which actually was a 30-day Kickstarter, which was funded within the 9th or 10th day?
10th, I think.
The 10th day. So pretty much these two guys did that, and what their startup actually does is they get beer colder faster. So I think that's something we can all agree is pretty darn awesome, and I'm gonna go ahead and give them the floor.
Thanks, Ian. Met decent amount of you guys before. My name is Trevor.
I'm Ty.
And he and Stolcho gave us our whole story. We just kind of wanted to tell you guys the story. We were asking Ian what he wanted us to talk about, because I'm still a student and Ty's a recent grad, so we're really not, far removed. I'm not removed at all. So, anyways, we're just going to kind of go through and tell the background of how we started, some of the things, and give you guys things. So if you have ideas, hopefully you'll pick up and run with them too. One of the big things that really helped us, like Ian was saying, is HackerHouse. We could utilize a lot of resources that we had in town, and there are a ton of resources. The university has a lot of resources for people to use. Gainesville. There's private companies in town that have a lot of resources that are open for everyone to use as well. So if you guys are to take something away, just find those resources, find out where they are, and go use them. Use them while you're here and you have them. Use them to your advantage. So, anyways, you want to start with just kind of how we started?
Yeah, we both ended up in HackerHouse somehow, and we were driving up to a hackathon the first weekend and came up with like a list of 100 things that we could, make at the hackathon. Probably 90% of them were app ideas or some kind of crazy business that would take 10 years to actually develop the products and billions of dollars or something to start it. And then on the way there, we were thinking, we've seen people spin beers in ice plenty of times and it cools them down way faster. Why isn't there something out there that spins it for you? So the next day at the hackathon, well that night actually, at the hotel, we had these like 95-degree beers that had been riding an RV with us for a day. And we got some hotel ice and spun them in the ice to make sure it actually worked and wasn't like some sort of goofy thing that people do, like tapping on the top of the can or something. And it turns out it did work. So the next day we went to Walmart and got just a bunch of random stuff, a drill, a sippy cup, a bunch of duct tape, a toggle switch, and some like brackets to put a house together basically. And broke some stuff in half, stuffed it in the sippy cup, duct taped it together, put the switch on there. And we actually used a 6-pack holder from Cigar City Brewing that clips onto the top instead of the old kind that, slide in like a rubber thing. They're turtle safe, and nobody in Atlanta knew what we were talking about when we said that. But
they also don't have koozies.
No koozies.
Nobody knows what a koozie is. We know 15 stores. You know those thick foam koozies that you get, or you see Spring Breakers always have, the big ones you buy at Panama City, the ones that nobody ever uses.
They don't fold up or go in your pocket or anything.
Yeah, they're terrible. Well, that was perfect for what we needed, and we went to probably a dozen different stores, Publix's, Walmart's, liquor stores, convenience stores, and nobody had any idea. They thought we were crazy when we walked in there asking for a koozie. Koozie, what is that? Anyways.
Yeah, so most of the people worked on the hackathon stuff. It was a 24-hour hackathon. They worked on it for 24 hours. Didn't sleep or anything. They were like passing out towards the end, We worked on it for like 2 or 3 hours and then went and drank some beer and took a nap and then came back the next day and we didn't try it. This was the one that we came out with. And we epoxied this thing on and it was really brittle and we didn't want to break it and then, not be able to fix it in time for the hackathon. So we just assumed it would work. And went up there and gave the pitch and clipped it on. It actually worked. Turned it on. It spun the beer in the ice and we left one in there and didn't spin it, as a control. And gave both of them to the judges and they were just blown away by the fact that 1, it didn't explode, and 2, it was definitely a lot colder than the one that didn't spin. So since then, we've just been prototyping and starting a business. Trevor can give you some of the details about like the main initial business starting things.
Yeah, so just kind of walk you through now. So this is,
pass that around.
huh? Yeah, no, absolutely. Go for it.
Be a little careful with the red part. So.
Yeah.
Still 90% duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of waterproof. So from there, how do you take that and then what did we do to create that into a company where we're actually generating profit? So we came back to Gainesville, showed it off to a couple people, and they liked it. They thought it was a neat thing. And they're like, man, you can get my beer cold fast? This is awesome. And so we had people telling us that they would buy it if we made them one. So we're like, all right, well, we could actually do something with this. So we knew from there that the hardest part was going to be the part that clips on. We can find motors, we can figure out some way to spin the beer. The hardest part was going to be the part that clips onto it. So we kind of broke it down to its basics and stripped everything away from it and came up with the chill bit. So the first chill bits, we don't have any of them because they all broke, but they were all 3D printed on a MakerBot. And they would just clip onto the top of the beer. They didn't really work that great, they were real brittle. So then Ty came up with the idea of 3D printing molds. Initially, we thought it was really cool to play around with 3D printers and just print whatever we wanted to on a whim, which was pretty cool. But the fact that we could create molds, and this is one of the molds here.
Yeah.
The fact that we
and really nice SLS printer for that.
Yeah. So we thought it'd be way better. Now we can make multiple of them with the same mold that we 3D printed. So that was the chill bit. Refined it. This one here is a Shore 90 plastic. This is still refining the idea now. We found out that this was way too hard. We'll pass it around, but you guys can feel how tough it is. It didn't really clip on that well and didn't function. But we've refined the idea of how it clips onto it. And so what the chill bit does, chill bit just goes into a drill, clips onto the top of a beer, and then you stick it, or soda if you're under 21, and then you stick it in ice and you spin it for 30 to 60 seconds and it's cold. This one was the next prototype that we came up with. As you can see, it's a lot softer. This is like a Shore 70 rubber. We found out that this works a lot better. It's a lot more durable. A lot more versatile. So that was that step. And in the meantime,
Yeah, building on that too, since we're making products for drunk people, especially the chill bit is like geared directly towards NASCAR fans and rednecks. It's got to be bulletproof. So, we use steel, and then we had this harder plastic, and it would break it wouldn't break if you used it like you were supposed to, but it would break if you really started messing with it, which we knew people would. So we went to the softer plastic, which ended up clipping on better anyways, but also it's really hard to tear up. So then we went to the next step and tried to remake the very first prototype in more of a streamlined way, not a big duct tape thing. And came up with this that easily slides in a pocket. It's got a hole to tie onto your boat or whatever you want to do. It's not waterproof, but we found that most of these DC motors work fine underwater. If you put it in salt water though, it'll probably short out and rust and everything. This one, I think, has been used to its life expectancy. But I'll pass it around. It's just a motor that we found. You can buy them for less than $1 from China. A 9-volt battery, a switch from Radio Shack, and a 3D printed body with the same type of clip that we were making in the molds.
So, like I was saying, as far as utilizing resources and things like that, the fact that we had a working prototype and were able to go around and show it to people and test it out and figure out what worked and what didn't work, what we needed to change, things like that were invaluable. I mean, that was, what was that, a month into after the hackathon?
Maybe it was.
Maybe, yeah. So maybe a month after we came back from that hackathon in Atlanta, we had that prototype up and running that we were taking around town, showing to people, letting them use it, hold it, touch it, feel it, say what they liked, didn't like about it, actually see what physically worked and didn't work with it. So yeah, you guys have access to 3D printers, by the way. I don't know if anybody knew it, but there's a fabrication lab here at UF where the bottom of the mold that's being passed around, that was actually printed on it. It's like $120,000 3D printer. It does very good quality stuff, and it's pretty cheap for students. If you guys ever have anything that needs to be made on there.
Yeah, if you look down at the bottom, it's even got our website engraved into it. That's the kind of precision you can get out of that one. The other one isn't, it's kind of the shape, but it's plus or minus like 10 thou.
So then from there, we got wherever the 3D printed pirouette is. We're able to just prove the concept and show that it actually worked. Then from there, it took it back, just kept refining the ideas, and this is really cool. This is our newest clip that we had made. We get these made out of a PVC rubber. These are actually made up in Indiana. We have a guy that manufactures injection molds these for us.
How's he do his business?
And so Ty found this guy, so he can tell you how he found him. But he's been a gem. We've said that as soon as we get the funds to fly him down here, we're going to fly him down and take him out to dinner, because we couldn't, we couldn't have launched on Kickstarter without him. But
yeah, I kind of got sick of dealing with the big plastic molding people because it was kind of weird. Some of them, first off, some of them, you know, worked quickly. You would send them something, a drawing, and they would send you a quote within a week or so, which is even 2 weeks is reasonable. Some of them, though, took months. And what was the weirdest about it is the exact same part. Some people would quote molds for like $10,000. Some people would quote the same exact mold for $30,000. So we knew somebody's just like taking a ton of money somewhere and it's not really being used to do what we need. So I wanted to just buy our own small injection molder or a large one if we could find it around here. You can get them fairly cheap and they're pretty easy to use. So I was calling around to find samples of plastic that weren't the entire car of a train, which is how you normally buy plastic pellets. And I was looking around for something soft and called this company, that company. Most of the plastic I found was like in India, which wasn't going to help us. And most of the people in the US were selling recycled, you know, ground up tires, which you can't melt down and reuse or anything. Finally, after I called people that told me to call people that told me to call people, some guy said, oh, you need to call Art. He's got PVC, you can buy that from him. And I called him and ended up talking to him for like an hour and a half. And he had PVC, but he also had tons of molds laying around because he got his business kind of downsized when stuff started outsourcing to China. And he's like, oh man, I'm not going to help you sell these things because, you know, I've kind of run into some rough times because, you know, people kind of undercut you here and there. He didn't really have a good outlook on the whole selling a new product type thing, but he's like, if you've got like $300 or $400 to dump into this thing, you know, I'll make you something. And we sent him $400 and he worked for 3 weeks on the weekends all day long and made 2 molds for us and shipped us 125 sample parts of these. And we'll make them all day for $1 a piece.
Yeah, so to kind of give you perspective of injection molding in the United States as opposed to overseas, injection molding, to get the mold made for this overseas was going to cost us between $4,000 to $8,000. He did it for $450. So that's why I'm saying as soon as we get the get the funds, we're flying him down here right away and taking him out to dinner. But that same mold in the United States was going to cost anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. So you know, we always hear labor is a lot cheaper in overseas than it is in the U.S. It is really true, and you can get parts a lot cheaper. And the prices are a lot more stable as well overseas. If you go to China and work with injection molders over there, the mold makers, first off, and the injection molders are a lot more stable as far as their pricing goes. You will get some variation from company to company, but not as much. In the U.S., it's all over the place. I mean, it's just so crazy how much it varies. You would think it would be one of those things that's kind of standard. You go to a big company and you're like, hey, I want to get this thing made. How much is it? And you go to the one next door and they're going to say the same thing, but it's not. It's all over the place. So, but anyways, so from there, once we got the clips designed, we had those made in Indiana, up in Indiana by Art, and we did that for a couple reasons. First off, he was the cheapest, so it just made sense. Second off, we were keeping all of that here in the U.S., and the clipping part is the part that we have provisional patents on. So that's kind of the bread and butter of the whole deal. Like I said earlier, the rest is just a motor that spins it. There's a ton of things in this, you know, in the world that spin with a motor, spin something with a motor. So we've been getting those made in Indiana, and we have now the newest version that has a body with motor, takes 4 AA batteries, and is completely waterproof. So this is the newest version. Like I said, we get the bodies from China. They come fully assembled, ready to go, and we get the clips from Indiana, all shipped to Gainesville, and then we assemble them all here in Gainesville. So you guys can pass that around, and then we're going to show you guys that it actually works, because I know everybody likes to see that. So yeah, these are some warm beers. You guys can just pass these around just to show that they are warm. Just pass the beers around real quick, and that way we'll do them. And we'll open up for some questions here in the meantime.
So Trevor,
yep.
I guess one of the biggest thing is getting it to convincing people that it actually does work. Even my roommate is skeptical.
Yeah.
You know. So how have you gone about doing that?
Yeah, that is honestly one of the biggest challenges that we've faced so far, and we talk about it all the time about what the best way to convey our messages. Videos, to a certain extent, work if people get the concept of it, But if they don't work at all. Video is just, people always think, oh, there's a video trick or there's something going on here. It's not real. So really, physical interactions, showing people like this, or we do a lot, we'll go around to tailgates during games. Ty went to the Fluke Tog. You guys know Fluke Tog, the Red Bull thing where they throw the things that aren't supposed to fly off of something. And, yeah, anyways.
Daisy and I went there, and if you guys ever have like a really boring product, ours is pretty fun, but if you have a really boring product and you need to bring people in to see it, just take a little puppy with you. So that's what we did, and it's crazy. Yeah, well, you can say it.
So that, I guess, short answer to your question is how we convey it is person to person. That's the best way we found for it to work. If you can come up with a better way, please let us know, because obviously person to person, it takes a little bit more time to scale, and you need people out there actually showing it. So the next step, after Kickstarter, we're going to start expanding, getting sales reps at different campuses and things like that. I'm not going to call them sales reps, we'll call them something fun.
Chillers.
Plus, yeah, chillers. Who doesn't like to chill beer and drink? You have to drink it once you chill it, so. Yeah, so that's kind of how we're tackling that problem.
Yeah, the research and sales are both really fun, so.
It's a lot of beer. Yeah, it's a lot of beer. Does anybody have anything else?
You guys designed that little handle too?
So that was already pre-existing.
Okay.
Yeah, and we found something. That's another thing is if you can find something, we're a physical product, so we're different than a mobile app or anything like that. But if you can find something that's already pre-existing, you don't have to pay for the molds. They already amateurize that cost into however many they're making, because they're making these similar things for other companies and stuff like that. So no, we didn't design the body. They already had that. We just found it and it works perfect. So.
Yeah, we have been working with them some because what they were using it for didn't really take that much stress, and we've broken a lot of them. So we had them go back and change their molds to make it a lot more robust for us, and we can also get them to make it in whatever color we want. So those were just samples they sent us of their current product, and we worked with them to kind of make it better.
Just because I think it's fun, what was the current product used for?
That one is a face scrubber. They sell the same thing though as a shoe shiner, foot callus remover, and anything else that spins really.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's one thing that we found just from doing this. I always tell people it's kind of the cool thing is there's so many products out there that utilize the same base things and build other stuff around it, other structure around it. But it's amazing how much it all revolve around one very similar style product as the base model. So, anyways, everybody pass them around or felt them. They are warm, I promise you. So what we're gonna do is, and this is exactly what we show people, Clint, like you were asking, is we'll take one, just shove it down in the ice, kind of like you would if you wanted it as cold as possible. Take the other one, stick it in there, turn it on, and let it spin. So
we actually got the idea to use a pre-existing product from the executives at Pinch a Penny. We went down and met with them, and they were saying like, why would you waste all your time trying to make something waterproof and sourcing all these motors, batteries, and other parts and molds and everything, when you can just buy something that spins and clip on the part that you have.
Yeah.
They kept saying nose hair trimmer, but I don't really think that would work that well.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the big breaks for us was that Ty's uncle went to college.
High school.
Yeah, went to high school with the CEO. You guys know Pinch a Penny, the pool store? Anyway, the big pool store in the southeast, and Ty's uncle went to high school with their CEO, so he just kind of reached out to him and said, hey, his nephew and buddy have this product, would you guys be willing to sit down? So we drove down to Tampa one day this summer and spent probably an hour and a half, 2 hours just sitting down with the executives from Pinch a Penny. But getting their knowledge was huge for us. Like Ty said, they were the ones who actually gave us the idea and like, why do you guys don't waste your time and money, you're gonna be a couple $100,000 in debt before you even get anything out the door if you go do it this way. So
Are you doing that in ice right now?
Yeah, yep.
Have you ever tried it with an ice bath, like with water? That'll chill even faster.
It does it about the same. Yeah. Yeah. Because when it's spinning like this with the ice, it's covering the whole outside of the can as the surface area, which is the same why ice bath typically works better than just ice sitting there. Yeah.
And as soon as it starts spinning, the ice around it just melts anyways into kind of the water.
Okay. Have you ever tried it with dry ice?
No.
Haven't tried it with dry ice. We've had a couple people ask that.
So you guys' pricing for you?
Do what? Sorry.
What are like pricing?
So pricing, yeah. The chill bits that we were passing around. So some of these we were selling previously. These are the old model. We were selling for anywhere from $10 to $15, depending on where we were, what the setting was. Just trying to feel out exactly what the economy, what people would pay for it. People always say, test out what it is so you get your optimal pricing. We found typically $10 to $12 was very reasonable for people. So you guys can pass these around. You can feel on the outside. Actually, here, we'll open it real quick. So the one that wasn't spun is this one. And it'll foam up. The one that was spun doesn't foam at all. You guys can pass them around. Take a sip if you want.
How does it work that the one that is, why doesn't it foam? Do you know why?
Yeah, that was actually a shock for us. We thought for sure that when we spun it the first time that it was going to explode. That was at the hackathon when Ty handed the control beer and the one that was spun to the judges. And the one asked, is like, is it going to explode? And we go, well, I don't really know. Yeah, try it. So he tried it, and we were pretty amazed that the one that spun foamed less than the one that was just sitting there. We came back, and Julian actually hooked us up with one of his friends. He's got his PhD in physics or a bunch of different stuff from UF.
He's a rocket scientist.
He is a rocket scientist, yeah. So we talked to him and asked him why, and he gave us this whole explanation. Basically what happens is there's a bunch of real small micro air bubbles that form on the inside of cans. So when you open them, because they're under pressure, they all release into the solution and then come up to the surface, and that's what creates the foam or the fizz or whatever you call it. But when you're spinning it, you're knocking all those micro bubbles off and creating one big bubble that then sits at the top, so it doesn't have to go through solution to equalize the pressure.
Also, the pressure drop just kind of lowers the temperature drop lowers the pressure anyways. So, less pop on.
Yeah.
Is your packaging, do you have packaging for it already, or does that
So,
describe the product?
Yeah, we don't have packaging yet. That's another thing that's kind of our next step that we've been working on. We've been, like I said, selling these person to person in people. As far as like branding and stuff, we have logos on the newest ones. We've been testing out different things with that as well. But no packaging as of now. Once we start moving into some retail locations, we're talking with some local retail shops. We'll initially stick a piece of rope or something through here, have them hanging on a rack, but move into packing eventually. Yeah. It's just another one of those things.
You're using like the Kickstarter funds, so
Yeah.
you start getting inventory and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Because your initial startup cost for anything hardware based is typically a decent amount. So that's what the Kickstarter is really meant for. And you'll find if you guys ever move into hardware stuff, you'll have a million different decisions about a million things you could buy. Like, do you buy tank tops to get the word out there? Do you buy business cards? We still haven't even bought business cards, just because we've been using them for development. Just kind of different things that you buy. And packaging is one of those ones that's lower on our list. We'd rather get a really good product, refine the idea, and get it out there. And we are there with it. So.
Plus, I think the packaging changes depending on like where you sell it. If you're selling it right up front, then it hanging up with maybe a little thing around it that tells you what it does and the name of it, versus if it's back on like aisle 10, it might need to be in a box, that stacks well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Have you settled on this device? Or are you still looking for?
No, so that's what we're working with now. Like Ty was saying, some of the internals, because in here there's a bunch of gears that gear down the electric motor. So that it'll spin at a much slower rate. The way that they initially designed it wasn't made for as much torque as we've been giving it. And we've been testing it with all kinds of stuff. This newest design here can do cans on the outside, and then we have an insert in here for bottles. It can also do wine bottles, and we found out last night that somebody sent us pictures on our Facebook that it can also do champagne bottles.
It's really cool.
So, and with the amount of torque that that's creating on it, it breaks some of those gears free on the inside. So we're having them create D shafts that go in there so that they won't break free.
Are you gonna keep this color?
So we can change those to any color we want. We can change these to any color we want to. Color-wise, that's one thing with injection molding, is colors you can change, but changing them frequently isn't good because it costs a decent amount of money. Usually companies will want you to order a couple thousand before you do change any colors, and they want you to order, a couple thousand of that one specific color before they do. Because what they have to do is every time they inject a new type of plastic or a new color plastic, they have to run the old plastic out, which is a waste, change all the plastic in there, and then do another run. It just breaks up the whole process. Because a lot of these injection molders run off time. They're doing high volume stuff. That's why they can crank them out at a lower cost.
What is the branding process like?
As far as like
what you have to go through, how much it costs, sort of thing.
For branding?
Yeah.
Oh, so for like different things like this. I mean, these are just different little things that we've done. My parents actually got us for these. It was a surprise for us. T-shirts and tank tops. We did tank tops as one of the things. That was actually part of our Kickstarter. So we did, we'll transition here in a little now, Kickstarter. I'll show you guys the video. Has anybody seen the video? Anybody not seen it? Some people, okay. We'll show you the Kickstarter video, and kind of go through what we've done with that. But part of the branding is the tank tops. We did those as a reward for our Kickstarter, so anybody who donated the first night at the launch party, they got a tank top along with it. So it was a cool little incentive, plus they get to wear it, and more branding as far as that goes. As far as cost, we just kind of see it as a sunk cost. You have to get your name out there some way. What is the most effective? We're still trying to figure that out for us. But.
Another thing you can do, like these logos, I just bought a vinyl cutter, and you just buy this vinyl for like $1 for a huge sheet of it. And I made this logo on SolidWorks actually, and it just prints out these things, it cuts it out, and you just stick them on. You can do it for t-shirts, you can do it for anything. That way you don't have to send these away and have somebody make a pad printing thing for it and actually print them out, which costs a ton, And you can do one t-shirt at a time if you want to.
Do you think it's possible to make a product where you show a six-pack of beer at once?
Yeah, we've had a lot of people ask us that kind of thing, and we could easily make something like that. But we just think if we can't sell something that chills one beer to them at one time, they're going to buy one that chills 6. So we're going to run with this for a little while, and then if more and more people want that, then we'll do that. Another thing that's pretty cool though is some commercial people have come to us, asking things about it because apparently in some high-end restaurants, people buy these nice bottles of champagne, but they have to chill it for 30 minutes, and they're saying, why can't we just get one of these and spin it in the back for a little while, spin it for like, a minute or two, and then take it out of the table. Because they don't want to keep their nice champagne cold all the time if it's going to sit there for 2 years before somebody buys it. Yeah.
Did you have to, what was I going to say? Get licenses or file for a patent or incorporate or anything like that?
Yeah, we incorporated right away just because we had to for HackerHouse, but also it just makes sense. And the patent stuff, we did 2 provisional patents, one for this and one for the chill bit, which we might have been able to just lump them together, but you can do it on your own and pay $65 to get a provisional patent, which then you can say patent pending, and nobody else can write a new patent over yours if you decide to actually get the real patent within a year. So it's not very expensive or anything.
Yeah. And some of the advice, so if you're in a situation, do you go get a lawyer? Do you write your own patent? We wrote our own patents, and there's a decent amount of people in town that have their own patents that they wrote as well. We talked to a couple different lawyers, and one of them, he explained it really well. He's like, the way he saw it, he's not a patent attorney, but the way he saw it was that patents were initially created for the everyday man to go out and be able to patent their ideas and protect themselves. So you really don't need a lawyer. You know, that they were created for that, so use it as that. Get consultants from a lawyer. Obviously, that's what we did. We got lucky and had a couple lawyers that helped us out and kind of said, "Oh, this looks good." But there's so much stuff out there online that if you ever wanted to write a patent, you could do it yourself.
Also, we've heard, I mean, we haven't had to deal with it yet, so I'm not positive, but we've heard that if you write your own patent, they're usually a little more lenient on little mistakes here and there than if you have, you know, a registered patent attorney do it and he messes up. So that's cool.
Alright, so.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Quick question, like your backgrounds, sort of, like school.
Well, I came here for mechanical engineering, but I grew up on a farm, just like making stuff all the time because I had to. Like something was broken and it's a Sunday and nobody's open. We have to like weld some junk together and make it work for a couple days. So I think I got a lot of making thing experience from there. Then I went to school, worked at a power plant for a while, and then like during school, and then got a job with Altavian, which is a local UAV or drone company, designing the parts of planes and manufacturing and everything. That's how I learned how to make molds and all that stuff. And I got that job just from like going to the bar, hanging out with people. So it's always a good advice to, you know, go network a lot.
And in my background, I'm finishing up my degree in mechanical engineering, and as far as like entrepreneurial stuff, both my dad and my stepdad started their own companies. A little bit more traditional. Well, my stepdad's a little more traditional. He started a jewelry company. He's had that for 30 years, so I kind of learned about a little more business and selling stuff from him. Then my dad, he had a tech company back in the 90s during the dot-com boom it did very well, and he was a lot more on the tech side, making, like I was saying, you know, hacking stuff together to make it work. And then, so learned a decent amount from that as well, and still finishing up. So I'll show you guys who haven't seen the video, our Kickstarter. It's real short, a minute. If you guys ever are thinking of making a Kickstarter, keep your video short and sweet and to the point. Otherwise, people aren't going to watch it.
Hey, I'm Trevor Abbott. And I'm Todd Parker. And we are Spin Chill. When I was a kid, I used to find hot Mountain Dew in the pantry all the time and needed to cool it down so I could drink it. I run into the same problem as an adult with beer. I'll be at a tailgate or barbecue and have a warm case of beer and I need to chill it as quickly as possible.
After a few semesters of engineering classes, we learned that spinning a beer in ice by hand added convection and drastically increased the rate of heat transfer. However, being engineers, we knew there had to be a better way, so we created the chill bit.
The chill bit clips onto a beer, fits in a drill, spins the beer on ice, and chills it within 30 to 60 seconds.
Testing with the chill bits went great, but we realized people don't always have a drill with them, so we developed the Beer Wet.
The Beer Wet is a hands-free portable device that fits in your pocket for walking around the tailgate. You clip it onto a warm beer, turn it on, and drop it into a cooler to cool your beer in less than a minute.
The first question we're always asked is, does the can explode? The answer is no, it doesn't even foam. And you can even rechill an open beer.
We designed the Beer Wet on computer drafting software, prototyped the body with a 3D printer, and made the rubber flip by pouring liquid plastic into 3D printed molds.
We need your help to fund the initial tooling and material costs for the first run of production.
Please check out our rewards to the right.
Thank you for watching our video.
We appreciate your support.
Yeah, so AZ actually did all of our videography. We spent, gosh, a month and a half doing, yeah, maybe 2 months just shooting that video. Videography, if you guys have ever worked with it, takes forever. You're gonna make a million cuts, a million mistakes, want to change a million things. So, but it, you know, in the end, it's fun, rewarding.
We refilmed the same things like 3 different days. We're like, well, better setting, let's just do it all again here.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We filmed. We probably went to 6 different locations that we filmed at. Ended up that one ended up being the best one that we found and put it together. So we started out with the initial goal of raising $10,000 in 30 days. We had the launch party on September 17th. It was a Tuesday, and we ended up raising the first 1,000 in the first hour. It was at that launch party. So that one of the things, we actually physically launched the Kickstarter campaign during the launch party. We stopped the party, did a countdown and launched it right there, which is pretty cool, and ended up having computers open that people could go and donate there. And everybody that came, majority of them donated, and we ended up, like I said, raised that first 1,000, which really got the momentum going and is huge for anything with Kickstarter. And then ended up getting like Ian said, we got the funding, the total funding of our goal in the first 10 days. And now we're 15 days in, so we're halfway through and we're at 13,372. Does anybody have any questions about Kickstarter or anything, or curious?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully you guys will see pirouettes everywhere now at tailgates.
Yeah, whenever AZ and I went to Miami, some girl bought a tank top and ran off with it. And then later we were out at dinner and happened to see this guy walk by with a spin chill tank top on. It was pretty cool. It's like, yeah, that's us. Went and stopped and took a picture with him. Like, yeah, my girlfriend just gave me this.
So we'll leave the cooler and some warm beers up here with some pirouettes. So if you guys want to, after the meeting's over, come up and play around with them and see for yourselves, feel free. So thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all are going to stick around a little bit afterward and just chat, hang out. Sure. Cool. Oh, yeah.
All right, you have you were going to announce something this week, right? No? So everybody give him another round of applause. About to close up the meeting here. There's tons of pizza, so please partake if you have not yet. We do have a couple of e-board positions open, so if you're looking to get more involved in the club, just come talk to me, Clint, Swaroop, or Masood, or David. After the meeting, any of us can tell you a little bit more about what we're looking for and how you can help out the club. We are doing next week, we are doing a You Be the Shark venture, sort of a venture workshop where come with about 5 minutes of you pitch a company and we'll critique you about it. So we're doing that next week. And then, let's see, Startup Week in Gainesville is the 25th of this month. Please register. I'll actually pull it up on the computer. Startup Weekend's an awesome event. Was the hackathon y'all went to with Startup Weekend or another event?
No, it was with AngelHack.
Okay, AngelHack. Startup Weekend, basically you get together, you form teams, and you have a 3-day weekend to build the company. It's a lot of fun. TEC has been to a bunch. We've been to them in Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete, and here. It's awesome. You should definitely register. Does anybody else have any announcements?
Yes.
Absolutely. Come on up.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Maria Vargas, and we go to Buchholz High School. I'm actually a senior.
Junior.
Yeah. So last year, Buchholz High School has the Academy of Entrepreneurship. And within the Academy of Entrepreneurship, we participate in an international program called DECA. And DECA is kind of like a huge international business and marketing club that students can compete in. You compete at the district level, state level, and international level. Last year for my DECA project, I started a program called Mind Your Own Business. And last year we had a panel event. It featured Josh Greenberg from Groove Shark, Abi Lakesh from Fracture, Student Hadid, Don Davis from Capital City Bank, and Ken Block from Sister Hazel and Simplify. So we had a panel event last year in November. Our goal is to promote entrepreneurship to students and kind of strengthen the tie between the business community and high school students or college students in general. So last year we ended up placing first at the DECA state level and third place at the international level in California. So this year we're trying to ramp it up a little more. We want to obviously involve the community more. We had like 300 to 350 people attend last year, so this year we want to get bigger numbers as well. So our panel event this year is November 6th, and actually Trevor is going to be a panelist. And we're also going to have Aiden from Feather and Byron Young from Corduroys, who is recently featured on Shark Tank, and Valerie Sheehan from Tone Right, and David Whitney is going to be our moderator. So obviously all you guys are invited. So November 6th at 7 p.m. at the Behold High School Auditorium. And we're also doing like a series of workshops. We're having the COO of Mindtree, who's coming to talk to Behold students this Friday. So we're kind of just growing the MYOB program to kind of connect students with the business community and show them that people are willing to help. Just like they talked about with Spential, there are tons of people who want to help you with your idea, and we really want to promote that to high school students.
Tell me you were going to announce that much awesome stuff. We have rules. Just kidding. Yeah, so that's going on? Yeah, anytime. Hopping for a Cure, if you want to announce that, since it's coming up pretty soon now.
Do you remember the date?
That's the part I didn't remember.
All right, so I'll stand up. I don't know how I can beat that, but we're good.
You can. You can be a good second place.
All right, so hello, for those of you guys that don't know me, my name is David Nassau, and I'm the Industry Outreach Director of the Entrepreneurship Club, so thank you guys. Who's their first time coming? All right, I mean, I saw some new faces, want to say hi. And so I started a nonprofit back in high school called Hopping for a Cure. I host hopscotch tournaments raising money and awareness for multiple sclerosis. And our next event on campus at the University of Florida will be on November 17th. That's a Sunday, the weekend after our homecoming. And that's being hosted by the Entrepreneurship Club. And we just got approval from that, I think today, basically. So we're about to start ramping up everything. So you guys are the first people to hear about it. And of course, when this meeting's over, I'm about to get all of my stuff in order to get some sponsorships. So if you guys know any other companies that might want to be involved, any other people, we're going to be trying to break a world's record, and we have a month to get everything together.
How many people do you need to break a record?
I need 360 people. The official world record is 358, and according to Guinness, you have to beat it by 2. So we have to get 360 people there. And I believe that with all of our networks, we can definitely kill that. So it's going to be on Broward basketball courts from 2 to 6 p.m. November 17th. So thank you guys. If you guys have any other questions, find me. I'll be here for the next 4 years.
All right. I think that's everything. Eat, drink, be merry.